Today we'll be transforming a print using a custom designed freebie. We'll be crafting a masterboard for the background and we'll combine everything to create a stunning journal page. Welcome, it's Barbara from Vienna, Austria. And welcome to the Out with a Bang, the last days of summer collaboration hosted by Mandy from Sunflowers and Doors and Julie from Julie's Paper Crafts, an event running in the Junk Journal Ideas and Inspiration Facebook group for August 2024. Each day throughout August, a new creator or two is posting a video with their makes using a summer-themed prompt. Below this video, you can find all the relevant information, and both Julie and Mandy created beautiful floral summer kits for you and are giving you a 50% discount during the month of August. The discount code and links to their kits can also be found below this video, as well as a playlist, so be sure to check out all those links below. So today, for August 20th, I have the pleasure of representing the prompt portrait. So we're going to start out with a freebie that I have made for you. So this is the image. She is a Klimt style girl. I really wanted to choose a portrait in the style of Gustav Klimt, since he was an Austrian painter born in Vienna, where I live. So you can find this exact image in the description box below this video. This is what it looks like printed 100%. I'm actually going to use her printed in 80%. I will be adding her to my XL art journal. You will see that later, and I do want to see some of the background. If you like this style of image, I also have this kit here with 5 pages of Klimt style girls. This is a brand new kit. You can also find that linked below in the description box. But today we'll just be working with this freebie, so you can do exactly what I'm doing using the exact same image. So I recently stumbled upon a video by Irene Rudnick, and she shows different ways of transforming photo prints into mixed media art. And I want to try one of the techniques, which I think will work really well for the Klimt style. Of course, Gustav Klimt used a lot of gold, so that's what I want to try to add to this image. And I'm going to leave it with the border for now. So we're going to alter this background. And we'll be using some wax from a regular candle and a lighter. This is the first time trying this, so hopefully this will work as planned. So we need to heat up the wax a little bit to make it soft. And then we can let it drip down. We can apply it directly with the candlestick to the background. Please be careful when working with fire and paper. So I'm just going to keep smearing this because I want to get some really interesting texture. I will also, of course, link Irene's video for you below, so you can also watch the other techniques that she shares to alter photo prints. By the way, this is printed on 200 GSM matte photo paper from HP. So now we have this very cool texture, which at the moment, of course, looks a bit weird, but we're going to change that. We'll just wipe off the excess. So next I want to add some acrylic paint on top of the wax. I'm choosing these two colors by Schminke, which is an olive green and a buff titanium deep, because I think they will match the background colors that we have here on the top part of the background pretty well. And I'm just going to use my fingers to apply this because I think that is easiest. So this way the white of the wax disappears, but we still have the texture. It doesn't matter if we go outside of the edge here because we'll be cutting that off anyway. And I'm also applying this here on the bottom where we actually have a different color on the background. This will also make the girl stand out more than she is currently. And of course you can do this with any image. It doesn't have to be this particular image. Then I'll go in with a little bit of the green. Since it's very green now, I'll add some more of the buff titanium on top. Just play around until you have something you like. I forgot some on top of her head there. So this is mostly dry. You can still see a little bit of the moisture here. The challenge is not to use your heat gun because that would re-melt the wax and we would lose our beautiful texture. So next I'm going to take some gold paint. I have this one here by Coil. It's a German brand. It's an acrylic metal paint. Use any gold paint you have. Could even be watercolor. And this is how we're going to highlight our beautiful texture now. Again, I'm just going to take my finger and very carefully go on top of my other paint. And this effect is really cool. And I think it's very Klimt-esque, if that's a word. Look at the shimmer of this. That is just gorgeous. The hardest part about this technique is not to go overboard, because you don't want to make the whole background golden. Well, maybe you do actually. What am I saying? You do you. I find it really hard to stop. Actually, my whole background is turning gold now. You'll see what I mean once you start with this technique. How gorgeous is that? I think this kind of looks like an old oil painting now. And I also want to take a small paintbrush because you see she has these beautiful details in her dress. So why not make those golden as well in true Klimt style? This is super therapeutic. Doesn't require any painting skills per se. You're just following the pattern. The back here is maybe a little more challenging, but we'll just kind of try to follow the lines. We're not looking for perfection. It's abstract anyway, so nobody will know what it was supposed to look like. And I also want to add just a little bit of gold here where the rose is. Maybe just on the edges of the petals of the rose. I mean, you go as crazy as you want with your image. This is all about just having fun, following your intuition. So let's set this to the side to dry. In the meantime, we can work on our background. So I chose this beautiful image. This is from Mandy's kit. It's one of 44 journal and ephemera pages from the Grungy Poppies kit. So as mentioned before, you can find both Mandy's and Julie's beautiful kits below in the description box. Again, I printed this on 200 GSM matte photo paper and it's absolutely gorgeous. And I think these colors go really well with the colors that we have on our image here. So I want to make a masterboard out of this. So we're going to start by cutting this into pieces. So I'm going to take my paper trimmer, I'm going to turn this around and cut this blindly into various rectangles. I'm not measuring anything, I just want various sizes. So I currently have 4 strips here and I will again cut these into rectangles. And this method was inspired by my dear friend Louise Heinzel. I will link the video that inspired me below this video as well. So now we have all of these little rectangles, and I want to mix them up a bit. And then we puzzled them back together. Again, I'm still doing this blindly. And the aim is to have a rectangle that in the end will be larger than this one so that it would frame our image. So I'm just using regular tape and taping these rectangles together. This is really fun because you really have no idea how this is going to look in the end. So I'm just paying attention that my outside line is going to be straight. And then we'll have pieces, for example, like this. No, maybe we'll put those on the front like that. You know what I mean? Like not under it, but over it. I'm so curious what this is going to look like. And I just keep checking the size of my image. I might actually cut this down later. So I have 2 pieces left. Let's reveal what this looks like. This is really funny. I love it. So now we can take these, because this one here, for example, is not super interesting. So why don't we cut these 2 up into smaller pieces so that we have a little more to play with. So for the ones that we'll be adding on top, we can just add some glue to stick them on. So we can add one here, here, and our last one here. Before I continue with the next steps, I'm going to cut out this image so that I have a better feeling of where this is going to be placed. Since I want this image to stand out more, I'm going to take Scorched Timber Distress Oxide and distress the edges. This is not doing a lot. So we'll have to figure out another way. So maybe taking the ink pad directly. Yeah, that works better. You see? Now we get a nice dark grungy edge. So this is much better, but I kind of feel like I want this portrait to have a dark frame behind it to make it stand out more from this background. And we're not done yet with this background. So I'm going to take a piece of normal cardboard. This is 1 or 2 millimeters thick. And then I want to cut a piece that will frame this. And since I don't want the frame to be flat, I want it to have some texture. I'm again going to use the technique with the melted wax just around the edge here, which is the part that we will see later. Okay, so this is what we have now. And this time I'm going to use raw umber and a paintbrush and just go around the edge. This might need more than 1 coat. So again, be careful if you use your heat tool that you do not remelt the wax too much. I think it needs another coat, unfortunately. So once the second coat has dried, I'm going to again apply some of my acrylic gold. Again, I'm just going to use my fingers, and I'm just worried about the outer edge here because the rest will be covered up by our image. Basically, I'm trying to make this look like one of these antique wooden gold frames that you might find in a museum. Okay, I think I'm adding a bit too much gold. Oh well. So we will set that off to the side to dry, but this now gives us an idea of how much we will actually see of the background. And I think I also want to add some of the gold to the background here so that the frame doesn't look so alien. Could try using this spatula actually, so I don't have to worry about this middle part at all. And then maybe just have some gold accents. You know, Klimt was all about the gold. Oops, don't go in the paint, Barbara. Gold has long been associated with divinity, spirituality, and the sacred. Klimt's use of gold was not just an aesthetic choice, but also a symbolic one. It added a divine or otherworldly quality to his figures, elevating them to a higher plane of existence, almost like icons. Gold has historically been a symbol of wealth and power. Klimt's use of gold in portraits, particularly of Vienna's elite, was a subtle commentary on their status and affluence. It also reflected the lavish lifestyle and cultural opulence of the Viennese society during the late 19th and early 20th centuries. And why not also take some of these other two colors that we used for the portrait, so the buff titanium and also the olive green, and just kind of randomly add that to make it all kind of go together. The shimmering effect of gold can evoke different psychological responses, such as awe, wonder, and a sense of mystery. Klimt used gold to engage viewers on a deeper, more emotional level, drawing them into the intimate and often erotic worlds he depicted. So in the meantime, we can add our picture to the frame. I'm just using tacky glue. Like so. Then let's see what this looks like once we place it here. So this definitely needs a dark edge as well. So again, I'm going to use the scorched timber and apply it directly to my paper edge. Another option would be to just use acrylic paint and then either with a paintbrush or a finger just go around the edge. I also took this to my sewing machine and went around the edges twice with a running stitch. And so now we can glue on our image. And then I also want to add a sentiment, and since I love a mixture of styles, I'm choosing this very modern looking font by Stampers Anonymous and Tim Holtz. This set is called Noteworthy CMS 446. I will link this for you below. And I want to add the one that says be fearless. Going to stamp it on this packaging paper scrap, and I'm using black archival ink. I'm edging it with the scorched timber. And then we can just glue it straight onto our image. So be fearless in your art. Never stop experimenting and trying the unexpected. So now I just want to find a place in my XL art journal. You can also find a playlist of this journal below. I also show you how I made this cover. The cover image is a freebie, which you can find linked below the videos in the playlist. And let's just look for a page that is big enough. This journal is not bound yet. This would actually be beautiful, especially because we have this green here and that really picks up the green on this page. So thank you so much, Mandy and Julie, for this fun collaboration. I would have never made this page without your prompt. Don't forget to check out the other creators in the playlist below. And I hope you try some of the prompts yourself. Surprise yourself with what you can create. Love you guys. Mwah, mwah.